July 21st, 2026. Dear Intrigued Me. Do you ever stop to think if you trust yourself? Clearly, we make a lot of different choices every day, but how many did you doubt? For me, even thinking about that caused me doubt. When I start my podcast, I always start with Dear Whatever Me. And for the life of me today, I couldn't figure out what my emotion was. And then, when I finally figured it out, I always write down the first question and response to that. And as I'm writing it down, I doubted how I can write the letter D. Now, I am well versed. I'm pretty well educated. The letter D? I recognize that I question most of my decisions each and every day. I question, well, if I wear this, what am I going to look like? I question, if I eat this, how much weight am I going to put on? I question, if I say this, how will my child react? Today, I didn't even get out of bed until 2:30. Super late, but I was okay with it. I got up, I took a shower, I came out to the living room, and then I ordered groceries. Typical day. I wasn't in the mood to put them away, so I debated back and forth whether I order for delivery today or order for delivery tomorrow. I did today. I fed my dogs. It's Taco Tuesday. I ordered Mexican food. I knew that I wanted to do work. I had plans to do work, but I could never sit down and focus on work. I ate my lunch while I watched an episode of the show that I'm interested in. I folded my laundry that I washed previously. I helped my husband with his adventures. And then I came into my office to sit down and work. Had a whole plan. This is what I'm going to take care of today. This is what I want to do. I got it. So then I sit down on my desk. And none of that happened. I remembered that I had bought a microphone for my podcast last month. And it's just been sitting there taunting me. Because I was kind of afraid of it. I didn't know if it would work. I didn't know if it would be hard to put together. I didn't even know if it would be worth it. But I bought it. The return date's coming up. May as well get it out the box and test it. So I did. And as I opened it, I got really excited. Oh my gosh, there's this piece, and there's that piece, and there's this piece, and there's that piece. And then I have to assemble it. Okay, that should be easy enough. I'm pretty smart. So I start putting things together, and my best friend goes, "Are you going to read the instructions?" Instructions? I don't need no instructions. I needed the instructions. So I'm putting pieces together, and they fit. So clearly that's how they go. No. Just because they fit doesn't mean it belongs to that piece. I learned that lesson the hard way. But I was so interested in getting it done. I was determined. I had piqued my own interest. So I may have played around with it 2 hours too long because I'm stubborn and refuse to ask for help. But I was going to do it. And I did. But that's kind of how I work with everything. I get this push of energy, this adrenaline that says, oh my gosh, we have to do this. It's got to work. Because I'm simply intrigued by it. I don't really have any plans beyond that. It's just, well, it interests me in that moment. So I had to do it. But then even as I do it, then it's all the questions. What made you think you should do that? Why did you do it like that? Who told you to say it like that? What's going on? I question everything all the time. Now sometimes, granted, you need to. currently with everything else going on in the world, I question whether I should eat fruits and vegetables. Question how my meat's looking. Just, food is hard recently. I question if living in the right area is best for me and my family, although I love my house and where I live. I question what job I should take, even though I know that whatever job I take, I'm gonna love, I'm gonna enjoy it. But everything is a question. Should I sit in my office or should I sit in my couch? Should I go to bed at a decent time? What's tomorrow look like? What do I have planned for tomorrow? Mind you, I'm not even working right now. I don't go back to work until Monday. But I've got to plan it out today. You know, Tuesday. Then it's that panic of, oh my gosh, if I go back to work, when I go back to work, how will I do the stuff that I want to do for Unperfectly Perfect? I know the journal's on lock. I get to come home from work, I get to decompress, and I get to sit and talk to you guys. But when do I get to build the other things that I'm interested in? When do I take time to make sure I'm taking care of me? So today I was sitting there thinking about it, and I am blessed with having a job that has a really interesting schedule. I will be working from Monday through Friday from 8 to noon and then again from 3 to 5. My original thought was, I'll just drive home. But I live about a half hour from work. So that's an extra hour of driving. Okay, maybe that doesn't make sense. So my brain said, hey, we can go to a coffee shop, we can do a little lunch, we can become a regular at some hole in the wall and get work done. And then I love that idea. I love the idea of being able to sit and process all my thoughts, get it all down on paper. That is just who I am. And then I wondered just how much I could do. How far could I go? See, I like to have plans for things. It makes my life simpler. I know what to do. I know what to expect. The people around me know what I'm going to do. They know what to expect. So there should be no questions. Except if you're a mom or a wife, you understand that there are always questions, despite having everything written out in front of your face. I digressed. But I am so excited. I found out school starts in less than a month, so my kiddo will be going back to school. My husband's got his husband type things going on. I'll be working full time. I've got a business that I'm trying to get up and running. I've got interests and hobbies. It's almost like I'm getting back to being me. Now, there's still some aspects that I dislike passionately. Tonight, I considered doing a video with my podcast. I'd kind of like to do a video with my podcast. I think it'd be interesting to see my thought process and how my brain works as I'm talking about it. And if only you knew how often I talk with my hands. But I am feeling really insecure about the way I look. So I almost instantly vetoed that. Best friend was like, why? You look fine. I look like a hot mess. A sack of potatoes. And I realized that it's just something that I do. If I have something good going on, I'm going to punish myself by finding the flaw, the negative. So, I didn't do the video today. You could tell by only hearing my voice and not seeing me. But I told myself that I will clean my office. My office is a hot mess and it bothers every sense of my soul. But I'm going to clean it. And then when I clean it, I will start doing videos. You will see me scream and cry and get excited and question, why did that make me excited? Granted, you will probably see my dog. She likes to make an interest. You guys don't typically hear her. She sneaks up behind me, sniffs my arm, rolls her eyes at me, and then walks off. My other dog likes to come, give me licks and let me know, you're okay. I'm okay. But I think that if I'm going to be vulnerable if I'm going to be in a position that's forward facing, I have to let go some of my inhibitions. I have to let go some of my insecurities. If I'm going to tell you that I'm here for you, that I want to be your bestie, that I want to be a support, hiding doesn't really work. So, I'm intrigued. How long will this newfound freedom last? Will it be one of those things where today I'm really excited about it and tomorrow I will find every excuse not to touch my office? Will it be that I convince myself that you don't need to see me to believe it? How quickly will I question myself and talk myself out of it? How quickly do you convince yourself and talk yourself out of it? It's like a really bad trend. We start to do something and then we're like, I don't know how that's going to work. We don't give it a chance. We just have decided that it's not going to go anywhere. What if we could keep that feeling of interest, that sense of intrigue, that wherewithal of, I'm going to go for it because I wanted to do it? That's how I've been living this last month. And I wouldn't say it's all gone perfectly. Not at all. But I will say that I've had a lot of fun doing it. I have smiled and laughed more this month than I have in a while. I have strengthened relationships that I didn't think was possible. I have gotten to know me. That is probably one of the best relationships I've strengthened. I have more conversations with myself. Now, partially because I do a podcast where I'm talking out loud to you guys, but to myself. And please let me tell you how much setting yourself back it takes to talk to yourself by yourself. It's just me talking at my computer. And I thought it was going to be weird. And I had talked to a friend about it before, and she said, that was her biggest hurdle, was sitting in a room and just talking to herself. I have a hard time being alone. Again, oldest of 7, always shared a bedroom. It just isn't natural for me to be alone. Not to mention, I don't like having to process my thoughts or my feelings. It's just easier if someone else is around. But this, sitting in a room, just talking into the void, has been so helpful. The fact that I have sat down and I've done these journals for almost the last month, bravo for me. The fact that I've sat down and I've made a journal that I should be listing this week, bravo to me. The fact that I'm honest with myself and honest with you all, bravo to me. I've had so many feelings and so many times where I felt like I was being judged or that I should judge something. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I just kind of took a step back and processed it. Again, yesterday could have been one of those days where I wrote everything off because I heard news I didn't like. I shut up today. A friend said something to me that really bothered me, and my first reaction was flight. That's, again, how my brain works. And I thought it through, and I'm like, no, you can handle that. That's doable. It's so interesting to me to see how many days of the week I go into it with this really set mindset that it's going to happen this way. It has to happen this way. And then something changes. As I'm working on the programs, I decided that I want to implement journals. Yes, the journals that I'm writing, but also a different kind of journal. A journal where you sit down in the morning and you establish how you're feeling, whatever that may be. It's on a scale of 0 to 10. I'll explain that later. And then at night, you sit down and do the same journal where you go over how you're feeling, 0 to 10. And I wonder how they fluctuate. Because this morning, when I got up, all I wanted to do was go back to bed. And it's not because I'm upset, but I was tired, despite sleeping well all night long. But then when I got going, I got going, which is typical of me. I will probably be up later tonight than I should be. But as I tell my friends, I don't have a curfew. I'm a big girl now. I would love to see how my emotions change throughout the day. I would love to do some type of project, some type of event where we all come together and we set this goal to figure out what it is. Maybe we do it and there is some type of prize behind it. Drawing. I don't know. Throwing out ideas. That's how my head works. But I would love to see how it affects all of us. Last night, I tried to post my podcast. I did do it. Had it done, was ready to go by like 10 something. And then I go to post it and it says processing. And I go, okay, great, that's fine. It's got time. And then I check it an hour later and it's processing. And I check it an hour later. It's still processing. And now I'm starting to freak out because now people who expect it to be uploaded already are going to be like, oh, she's a flake. She didn't do it. I promise you, I did do it. The site was just not working. And so instead of going to bed last night, I stayed up until I can get it to go through the process. Because I was worried that you guys would think, I knew it wasn't going to last. She talks about it all the time. She gets an idea in her head and she just kind of blows it off. You guys have been so motivating for me. And all you do is show up. I recognize that I don't have a bunch of followers. I may not even have a bunch of listeners. But for the few of you that exist, I appreciate you. Please know I really appreciate you. I feel like I am talking to my besties. I can talk to you about anything. And I don't really know if you're judging me or not. I hope not. But even if you are, you still come back for more crazy. Or is it crazy? Why is it that when I do something that's different, I consider it crazy? Maybe I'm just finding myself. Maybe I'm coming into my own. That's okay. That's not crazy. Maybe, just maybe, I should start to shift the thoughts in my head. I can try, right? It's the least I can do. I can give myself the benefit of the doubt. So today, I am intrigued by everything that's going on. My bite of pie is that I did get my new speaker up. Super excited. I could even hit applause. Not that I needed an applause there. But I think it's kind of cool that I could if I ever needed it. And then, I took care of a bunch of other things. I don't give myself credit for the things that I do. I asked one of my kids, like, what's your bite of pie today? And what are you talking about? And I said, what did you do today? What did you accomplish? And she said, well, I went to this meeting. Get it? Your bite of pie doesn't have to be big. My bite of pie was I got out of bed first. It just so happened other things followed it that felt like a bite of pie. So, what's your bite of pie? What did you accomplish today? What one thing made you proud to say, at least I did that? I hope you figure it out. I hope you find something that says, hey, I accomplished something today, even if it was I got out of bed and I didn't want to. So, just remember, today is another page in the story. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be written. And before you close your journal tonight, ask yourself, what was your bite of pie today? Until tomorrow, love you loud.